Hello and welcome to Dolbeau-Mistassini, Canada, for the World Muscle Power Championships of 2004. The top 12 strength athletes in the world have been invited to this strength extravaganza here in Quebec. Let's take a quick look at the athletes then. The world's strongest man of 2002 and 3, Mariusz Pudzianowski from Poland. 27 years old now, Zydrunas Savickas, twice second at the world's strongest man. He's won the Arnold Classic a couple of times, and he's the biggest man in bodyweight. Age 30, it's Vasyl Vereshchuk from the Ukraine, former shot putter, won a European bronze medal at indoor shot putting. Magnus Samuelsson of Sweden, world's strongest man, back in '98 in Morocco. The tallest man here at 2 meters. Raimonds Bergmanis, age 38, 3 times at the Olympic Games for Latvia. Carried the flag back in Barcelona. Dominic Filiu, a new guy to the world scene, almost as tall as Magnus. And look at his weight, 194 kilograms. Goodness me. René Minkvits, 34 years old from Denmark, been around the scene a long time now, regularly making the world's strongest man final. Mark Filippi, twice USA's strongest man. Great squatter, great deadlifter. John Anderson, new guy to the world scene, comes from California. Former bodybuilder, in great shape and has some incredible power. Jason the Myth Paulin, they call him. Well, let's see how mythical he is today on home soil in Quebec, Canada. Jeff Dolan, since moved to the USA, still competing for Canada, age 30. Well, he's living in the shadow of Hugo Girard, this man at the moment, who's North America's strongest man and 5 times Canada's strongest man. Well, a lot of you will recognize this man, the great Doug Edmonds, head referee here in Canada.
I'm ready for fighting. I'm ready for a win.
Well, let's have a look at event number 1. It's going to be the wheelbarrow. Fairly simple. You've got to carry it for 20 meters, but keep loading different implements of varying weights, around about 100 to 150 kilos each implement. First up, Jason the Myth himself, Paulin. So, about 160 kilos in the handles here, pretty easy to pick up. About 350 pounds, but you can see the wheels don't turn that easily. So Jason driving for the line. Can he make that 20 meters? Well, he makes a distance anyway, 13.73 meters. So quite a way short of the line. So next up, it's Vasyl Vereshchuk, Ukrainian competitor. Very tough guy, unbelievable leg power. So Vasyl just getting his grip correct before Dr. Edmonds blows the whistle. Vasyl, of course, 3rd at the world's strongest man last year. Look at the power of those arms, tearing it off the ground, sprinting through here. Well, that's some power there. 15.65 meters recorded for Vereshchuk. And next up, it's Hugo Girard. Hugo is Canada's strongest man, 5 times Canada's strongest man. Very much following in the footsteps of Louis Cyr, a very famous strength athlete from back in the 19th century, also of Quebec. Oh, grip just going at the end there. 16.1 meters. Well, it's quite a phenomenal piece of kit, this. The weight just keeps loading up as you go forward. Every few meters, the weights just increase on the handles until you can no longer hold on to the handles. Quite a piece of machinery, and I think this is one of the elements of the World Muscle Power Championships here in Canada. Easy enough to stand out with, but it just gets heavier and heavier until it tears out of your hand. So what can Filippi manage? Chasing that distance that we've seen Girard and Vereshchuk do. 12.41. Well, nowhere near 16.1 by Girard. Here's a great man indeed. Magnus Samuelsson, very tall, so you can see the pickup Not as easy as it is for some of the shorter guys, but here's where the weight starts to kick in. With every step, it's getting heavier and heavier. Oh, the agony. And I think he managed to push it a little bit as well. They got an extra foot. 12.99 meters then for Samuelsson. Good result.
How difficult is this event? Have you ever tried this kind of apparatus before?
It's a bit different because the weight is coming on you in the end. So if you mistime it and lean too much forward when the weight hits you, you're just going to fall down. But beautiful event, and we just need to practice it more.
Magnus Samuelsson, good performance. Magnus Samuelsson.
Always a crowd pleaser, Magnus, from the south of Sweden. So many titles to his name. Now, how about this guy, Zydrunas Savickas, 165 kilos in body weight. That's 355 pounds, just over. Former IPF silver medalist in powerlifting. You can see just how big he is. Enormous chest, legs, and back. Well, the weight's coming on now. It's kicking in very hard. Look at it sliding up the piece of machinery. 12.68 meters. That is surprising. I thought Savickas would have held on longer there. Perhaps, like this man, Bergmanis, the weightlifters aren't so good at the stamina stuff, just good for the speed events. Well, we'll find out what Bergmanis can do right now. Latvia's strongest man for many years now. A full decade of dominating in Latvia. The great Raimons Bergmanis, 3 times at the Olympic Games. He's done his country so proud over the years. Chasing that 16 meters. What's he going to do? 12.55 meters. Well, that's interesting. Not as far as he wanted to go, and just behind Zydrunas Savickas. So, Mariusz Pudzianowski, one of the shortest men in the competition. A shorty by strongman standards, just about 6 foot tall. But look at his muscles, unbelievable. 5% body fat, he claims. That's like a bodybuilder. But that wasn't so great. 12.88 meters. We haven't really seen anyone that impressive since Gerard and Verestchuk both went comfortably over 15 meters. So on to René Minkvits. Now René, real tough guy. Always been impressed with René's heart. Big heart. Fights on no matter what. Damaged his neck badly back in Malta in '98, the world's strongest man, when he was perhaps the favorite going into the final. He was so impressive in the heats. So what's the distance? Well, he's nearly fainting going that far with it. 10.95, and the hand just goes, gives up on him. Gives a wave to the crowd there. Still, event 1, 7 to go here at the World Muscle Power Championships, and it's Gerard on top. He's never been beaten on home soil. It doesn't look like he will be at the moment. Join us after the break.
The fabulous Dakar. More than 450 entries, traveling 9,000 kilometers across 6 countries in 16 days. There's nothing to match it. And now, in addition to the nightly roundup, Eurosport takes you live to the heart of the Dakar, twice a day. The Dakar, every night and twice a day live on British Eurosport. With Columbia Sportswear. With Total, official partner of the Dakar. Enjoy the Dakar 2005 with Nissan.
Welcome back to Dolbeau-Mistassini, Canada, for the World Muscle Power Championships 2004. Let's take a look at event number 2. It's the log lift, probably better known as the Viking press. It's a giant log on a pivot that the guys have to press for repetitions overhead. 160 kilos in the handles. That's about 30 kilos heavier than this man, John Anderson. And what a fascinating guy he is. He's New Mexico's strongest man, and look at the shape he's in. Before I'd met him, I was promised he's as muscular as Mariusz Pudzianowski. Well, you can judge for yourselves who's more muscular. Certainly, he's in great shape. So 7 repetitions. You can hear Dr. Edmonds counting them out. 8 good repetitions then. The veins absolutely pumping with blood to these tiring muscles. No, that's it. 8 repetitions. Just too much fatigue there. So on to Raymond Bergmanis. You can see the Latvian flag flying behind there. Now, will the Olympic lifter do well here? Can he use his legs? Remember, the bar's not lying across his chest like it does in the Olympic lifting. 5 reps. Amazing. Bergmanis, now the oldest man here in competition. As the graphic says, 3 Olympic Games, the last one back in Sydney. And Barcelona, he actually carried the flag for his nation. Can he knock out? Is that 10 repetitions? So he's going to go ahead of John Anderson. Amazing by Bergmanis.
Your past in weightlifting helped you for that event?
Oh no, I forgotten weightlifting. It's 4 years ago. I'm a strongman. It is strongman event. That's not weightlifting events.
So who can beat that? Well, Vasyl Vereshchuk is a fairly impressive customer. And of course, a European bronze medalist in shot putting is a great chance for track and field to see just how one of their guys would shape up against the strongmen. Explosive power in the chest and arms, that's for sure. And he's changed his shape a lot since shot putting days, no doubt. He used to be a lot leaner, probably a lot faster. Now weighing in around 150 kilograms, so 330 pounds. So he's pressing quite a bit more than his own body weight overhead in this fairly awkward fashion. Now, he didn't get given that first lift there. Edmonds saying that it wasn't low enough. You've got to drop it below the chin. 6 repetitions then. 4 to go to catch Bergmanis. 2 more to equal the lead. Oh, look at that. Leaning back, getting his chest into it. Great movement there. That's 10 reps. 1 more for the victory then for the Ukraine. Does he have it? No. Looks like Vereshchuk will settle for 10 reps, equal with Bergmanis. Now the crowd favorite, the policeman, who comes from near Saint-Jean-de-Matin, where Louis Cyr is so famously from. Now, he's another guy with very tight shoulders who struggles to get it down under his neck. To be exact, Hugo comes from Gatineau. Well, there's 3,000 strong crowd screaming out every single repetition. 10 reps then. 1 more to take the lead. That he's done. Now, he's held the world record in the Viking press back when it was 135 kilos. 13 reps. Can he extend his lead any further? Oh, he's done. This is phenomenal pressing. Anyone who's been down a gym will appreciate what kind of fatigue he's going through. No matter how heavy it is, you do 14 repetitions of anything and your muscles are burning.
Hugo, last year 20 repetition, this year 14. What happened?
I don't think I was set up properly. I should have taken a bit more time at the start, make sure I had my foot at the right place. But you know what, I think I could have got that 15 reps, but there's no point trying to waste energy. There's still 6, 7 to go, so one at a time.
Of course, we're assuming that the setup is exactly the same on the log, and well, let's face it, logs change and pivot points change on the log from year to year. So if you are looking back to last year at this competition, this man Zaviskis did 13 repetitions. So can he improve on that? If he does, he'll put Gerard under pressure. Now his movement, normally the bench press coming from powerlifting, it's where you're lying on your back, pushing the weight away for you. 11 reps, the fatigue kicking in. I don't see too many more coming here. 14 repetitions, and he's equaled Gerard. Impressive from Zaviskus.
Performance. Is this an event you're practicing regularly?
I like this event because my shoulders strong, and then last year I did 13, this year 14.
The Python, the Dominator. Whatever the nickname for this guy, he's unbelievable. It's Mariusz Pudzianowski, 2 times world's strongest man. He last won that title in Zambia. Just look at the shape. You can go check him out, www.pudzian.pl. Of course, you can send me, Colin Bryce, an email at eurosportstrongman@hotmail.com. So that's Colin Bryce, and the address is eurosportstrongman@hotmail.com. All criticisms, questions will be answered just as soon as possible. So he's battling away here, Pudzianowski. Can he mix it with the big boys, the really heavy guys? Oh, he looks like he's fatigued out. So 11 reps for Mariusz. Better than Vasyl Vereshchuk managed, and better than Raymond Bergmanis, but not as good as Gerard and Zaviskus. And with that victory again, Gerard is going to send himself into the lead. 23.5 points. That's 4 points ahead of Vasyl Vereshchuk. Zaviskus, the Lithuanian, in third. The battle is starting to heat up here in Canada.
Я є Василь Верещук з України, і я є найкращий.
So on to event number 3 then, and it's the Fingal's Fingers. This is quite a fascinating event. If you haven't seen it before, it looks like these guys are going to get crushed at any second by these enormous pipes that they lift overhead. Don't worry, it is very safe, because unlike some of the competitions, these actually click into position. So, first one, easy. You can see the technique, self-explanatory. You've just got to lift it and drive it to the center. It's Vasyl Vereshchuk, the Ukrainian. No doubt his triceps very tired after the last event, the Viking press. On to number 4 then. Driving, each one getting heavier, remember. So it's not just fatigue. Each one is actually heavier than the one before. Well, this would be impressive, really impressive. Can he drive it in? Yes, he can. Oh, how happy is he with that? 39.03 seconds for Vereshchuk. And that puts the pressure firmly onto Magnus Samuelsson, who's not doing so well at the moment. Samuelsson, in the first event, 12.99 meters with that ever-increasing wheelbarrow. Then 4 repetitions was all he managed in the Viking press. Now, it's fairly simple physics. The taller you are, the easier this event is. You're pushing from a higher point. So, Samuelsson, can he take advantage of his 6'6" height, 2 meters tall? He's chasing Vereshchuk's 39.03. It's going to be very close. So 41.53 seconds, 2 seconds outside Vereshchuk.
I had some problems with the last event, so I need to make up some ground now. Hopefully this will stand up for a while. I expected it to be heavy, but it felt very light, so maybe I could have gone faster.
He thought it was very light. It looked pretty heavy from here. So, Jetson Paulin, well, that was quick, wasn't it? This guy, a real athlete, can happily dunk a basketball. And that's done at over 310 pounds in body weight. His first ever competition, you'll love this story. He walked 100 kilometers to the nearest town, so they say, slept in a car, and then competed in the small town competition. And of course, won it. That's why they call him the Myth. Jetson the Myth, Paulin. He denies all of it. Claims he's been driving flashy cars since he was young. But I think that's just the prize money he's got from Strongman. So here we go then. Number 5. He's chasing the time of Samuelsson and Vereshchuk. Oh, well, this is tough. This is what I was talking about. You imagine it would just come back down and crush him, but it is sticking every time he puts it forward an inch, it locks. So there we go. He finishes 60.94 seconds inside the time allowed. And a good result for the Canadian crowd. Mariusz Pudzianowski, Polish power, Polska Górą, here he is. And what can he do? Let's see how easy the first one is for him. Well, unbelievable. Made of dynamite is Mariusz. So fast. Former amateur boxer, very successful there, winning Polish titles before he turned to strongman. Wouldn't want a left hook off him now either. I don't suppose he's lost too much of his speed. So, in with number 4, on to number 5, and it's getting close. The time is ticking away. Well, that was done in 26.91 seconds, so he has 13 seconds in which to get this up to beat Vereszczuk. No, it's what I was saying about the height thing. Perhaps his slightly shorter stature at 6 foot tall, or maybe even 5'11 3/4, just hinders him a little bit in these kind of events. Plus, I heard that Mariusz was taking a little bit of a rest before this. He's been trained and worked very hard, perhaps not on the form that we know he can be. Well, there you go, absolutely shattered. 26.91 seconds, so fails to do all 5. Zydrunas Zaviskas of Lithuania. Well, this guy's got power and speed. Amazing, really. He's so quick-footed at such an enormous body weight. And if he looks short, he's actually about 6'3.5" tall, 1.92 meters. So driving in with the 4th one, on to number 5. Chasing Vereszczuk's time. Remember, 39.03. That's what we're looking for out of Zaviskas. Well, this is going to be close. Going to be very close indeed. 35 seconds has just passed. What's it going to be? 37.56. He goes into the lead. Zaviskas takes first place at the moment. And out comes our final customer in the Fingal's Fingers, the mighty Hugo Girard. Now these guys get to go last by virtue of their win in the event previous. So both of them doing very well in the Viking press, equaling 14 reps. Now, this is home advantage for Girard. He has got the crowd. You have to think as well that he's practiced these events a few times. It would be silly not to, really, wouldn't it? And that will always help. Well, he's out of breath there. He's looking rather flushed and puffing pretty hard. Driving in, using all of his strength. You can see, though, he's really lost his edge with this heavy one. Will he get it up? The crowd willing him on here. It's going to be close. He's done it, but just how fast is it? And I don't think it's anywhere near Zaviskas. It isn't. It's 47.24.
This is a very tough event. You had some tough competitors before you. How did you feel in that this event?
I had a lot of pressure because, you know what, those guys, they're very pushing hard. So going last, I don't know, was really an advantage. So I took my time, make sure that I was putting my hand exactly where it needed to be, and take advantage of every little bit of energy I had.
Well, let's take a quick look at the results then. Zaviskas takes the victory there, giving him a maximum 12. Hugo Girard is going to suffer. He was in the lead. He only gets 9 points there. Well, still enough to hang on for Girard by 2 points. Vereszczuk has moved into second, equal with Zaviskas. On with a classic then. It's the squat. Very simple, just like in your local gym. You put a lot of weight on your back, on the bar, and go down deep and back up again. Now, there is a statutory depth for this, and that's thigh bones go parallel with the ground. If you're wondering why they're walking quite so funny, those bandages around the knees are strapped so tight so that they help lock the kneecap in position. What you don't want is one of your tendons taking too much strain. That way, it's all the muscles taking the strain. Well, Pudzianowski, 700 pounds plus this. And you can see how heavy it is when the world's strongest man is struggling. No, 1 repetition. Well, that is surprising. 325 kilos on the bar, 1 rep for Puds. Vasyl Vereshchuk then. Now these legs are made for squatting. Something else, 35 inches round. So if you're feeling a little overweight and your waist is bulging, and you measure it and it says 35, well, that's only one of Vasyl's quads. 1 rep for Vasyl. Hits the depth. I don't think he was given that first rep by Doug Edmonds. I hear the count 3 there, so for Vereshchuk, that's a disaster. And the spotters, well, the 2 guys there just to lock it up. No one wants to get mousetrapped or crushed under this unless they absolutely have to when they fail a rep. So Vereshchuk there getting a little bit of blood back into the lower half of his legs. Those straps, though, really are necessary around the knees. You wouldn't want to attempt this kind of maximum weight without it. So many purposes they have, as well as just keeping the knees warm. And very, very compact. So, Jeff Dolan, Saskatchewan javelin record holder. He's thrown over 73 meters before turning to strongman at a fairly young age now, 30. Trying to find his feet in strongman, and this guy can squat. We saw him in Canada in the Super Series last year, mixing it with the big boys, the likes of Sven Karlsson. Oh. Well, those were real grinders. 3 repetitions, and he's seeing stars there. Now, John Anderson, here he is, the man with muscles in places most people don't even have places. Did I just say that? Well, it just about suits this guy. He really is bulging all over. Look at the size of his shoulders. Not as tall as some of the other guys, though. Stats on him rank him at 6 foot. I think that's a bit of a fib. I think he's about 5'11" or maybe 5'10" even. And he comes out of Novato, California. Now he can squat well. It's one of the things he really boasts about is his ability to do repetitions with high weights. Reckons he can deadlift 500 pounds for 21 repetitions. Well, he's doing well here. 4 repetitions. He's beating the likes of Vereshchuk and Pudzianowski. Well, I make that 5. I'm not sure what Doug Edmonds makes it. Oh, there we go. Gets trapped under the bar. Look at the pressure where he's been shaving on his head earlier today. He must have nicked himself, and now it's bleeding. That is pressure. Mark Philippi from Las Vegas. The first time we've seen him, he hasn't really been competing well. He's been finishing right down at the bottom, and I guess that's why we haven't seen him. But this guy can squat like no one else on earth. One of the greatest squatters and deadlifters on the planet. 3 repetitions. The strength coach for the UNLV American football team. Very, very important job over there. Coach, as they all call him on the circuit here. That's what the athletes have nicknamed him. 9 repetitions. Well, this is like a lesson from coach right now. How to squat. Look at the way he uses his back as well as his legs. "12 repetitions. Well, there's no saying that Mark Philippi doesn't put the work in the gym. Perhaps doesn't have the genetic gifts of Samuelsson at 6'6", but he's put some work in. 12 reps.
Mark, 705 pounds for a guy who has been operated in both knees. How did it go?
It went all right. I'll take it. Knees ain't a problem. Just got to put it out of your mind.
Well, it was a horrible day in Morocco when he got crushed under that car. Sadly, I was standing next to him and had to help him lift the car off of his knees, and really tore up his right leg. Then he went and tore his left leg the next year. But Philippi, a true battler, and he's back again. But how about Hugo Girard, leading the competition by 2 points ahead of Zaviskus, and Vereshchuk really needs to get a good competition going here. He's the Canadian squat record holder, but oh, that looks ugly. Hugo Girard perhaps fainting.
We go Usually you go around 8, 9 reps. What happened?
Je crois que j'ai vraiment mal positionné mes pieds, puis j'étais vraiment pas bien placé sous la charge. Des fois, ça arrive.
Well, I think what he's saying there, my French not so hot, I didn't put my foot in the right place. Sometimes that happens. So you can see there, Zaviskus getting his foot, checking them again and again. Doesn't want to make the same mistake. You go too far forward, of course, and the bar will literally try and slip down your back. And I think that's what happened with Gerard. I think I've got to go check my French dictionary on that one, though. So if you disagree with me, send it to Eurosportstrongman at hotmail.com. Eurosportstrongman at hotmail.com for any different translations of that. Well, he's chasing Philippi's unbelievable 12. 8 repetitions for the former IPF silver medalist in powerlifting. He's had enough. Wonder why he stopped there. Perhaps he's playing a little mind game with Gerard.
This is probably your favorite exercise. What's your best squat?
My best squat, 425 kilograms.
And how did this weight feel tonight?
It's not big weight, but I'm not in best shape. That was a little bit heavy for me.
So let's take a quick look at the results. And Mark Philippi, the big squatter from Las Vegas, takes the maximum 12 points with 12 repetitions. Well, hello and welcome back to Dolbo Mistassini in Canada. And up next, it's event number 5, the arm-over-arm hoist. And wait till you see this wonderful contraption that they've come up with in Canada. Not like your traditional arm-over-arm where you perhaps pull in a car or maybe even a small truck. Look at this. They've got an incredible pulley system, and these guys are pulling in 1,600 pounds, 720 kilos. Now, in the rope, that equates to around about 180 kilos, 400 pounds they're pulling each pull. For 11 foot to the ceiling, that's how far it's going to take. Each time it locks, they pull it another foot, another foot and a half. Now Samuelsson, he's so tall, the big Swede. This is an event I don't think I've ever seen him lose at. And what can he produce then? The opening man in the competition would love to do something great here. Looks around about 30 seconds, I think. Did the full height, that's for sure. 31.18. Very impressive from the giant Swede. So, on to Jessen the Myth Paulin. He's getting very crouched in there. Let's hope he can squat his way out of that. Oh, no problem for Jessen. Now, people have warned me about just how explosive he can be. Perhaps this will be a chance to see it. Now, unlike a truck, where you really have to keep the pressure going all the time, you have to keep feeding the rope so that you don't lose the momentum of the truck and it goes to a stop again. Now, this is different. This here, each time you can reposition and drive how you want to. Jessen then chasing that, 31 seconds as Samuelsson. Well, that's gone. He's not going to beat that, that's for sure. This 3.5 meter height. He's past 3 meters, yes. Hits the 3.5 meter point. Well within the time. And the official timing then, 37.56 seconds for the Myth. Marius getting told off there by Doug Edmonds. What I love about Marius is that nickname Mad Max. I've never heard that one before. I said it was the Python and the Dominator. Those are the only two I know. But he pretends he doesn't speak English when he's trying to perhaps get around a rule, let's say. He can speak English absolutely fine. I've interviewed him and chatted with him 1,000 times. And it's certainly improving all the time as well. But Doug Edmonds there, catching him, putting a little chalk on the rope. So what can Puds manage then? He's done about 1/3 of the course so far. And one thing about this guy is he never tires, just like a metronome. Driving each time. 20 seconds have gone. chasing Samuelsson's 31 seconds, 31:18 to be exact. Oh, this is awesome stuff. This is like a world-class rower here. Look at the power he's generating. But you know what? The grip's starting to go. He's done it. 36.45. Couldn't quite understand what was going on there. It's because it had stopped.
You're now the world's strongest man. Is this one of your favorite events?
No, this for me events. Today is very slowly for me.
Is this it's not a good time for you?
It's bad, very bad.
Now for this guy, just about every event is good. Vasyl Vereshchuk just has wild power. No end to his talents. 67-foot shot putter, 20 meters plus in his heyday. His brother, Roman, went to the Olympic Games in Athens this year. Sadly didn't make the final, underachieved a bit there, but still an awesome feat by anyone. What a talented pair of brothers. You wouldn't want to meet them in a dark alley, would you? So here we go with Vasyl Vereshchuk. Now, it doesn't look like he's getting a very long pull, only maybe a foot. You think if Samuelsson was really driving, getting a much bigger pull each time. Vereshchuk hunting down Hugo Girard. Now in the lead at the moment on 39 points. Now, Vereshchuk won't want to lose that lead here. He won't want Girard to beat him in this event. That's for sure. What kind of time? He's a foot away, perhaps another pull, and he'll do it. It's so close. He's done it. Look at the exhaustion. I'm feeling exhausted just sitting here in the commentary booth. I think I'll have another Mars bar. 39.45 seconds then for Vereshchuk. And it was on to Zavickas. It was another one of the top three. The Zavickas struggling with fatigue. All he could do in 75 seconds was a mere 3 meters. So half a meter off the top. On to Hugo Girard then. And Girard never want to give in. 42.9 seconds.
You're a specialist at this event. How difficult was this event for you?
Very difficult. I have a lot of pressure today. I'm not happy with the weight win, but part of the game.
So let's have a quick look at the results. And Samuelsson gets his first win. 12 points for the giant Swede. Pudzianowski 11. And look at Vereshchuk and Girard, 4th and 5th. So it's on to event number 6. It's the backlift. Now this is in honor of the great Canadian Louis Cyr, who supposedly, by the end of his life, did over 4,000 pounds on a backlift contraption. However, if you look at the different drawings and sketches around the world, it certainly didn't look as hard as this. Oh, now they've got to lift all of the sensor pads around the system off the ground for 1 inch. And if he can do that, then he gets a good lift. Arms and legs driving. The great Louis Cyr did all kinds of things. 13 women, 24 dogs, and a couple of chickens thrown in. The most incredible photographs from the 19th century of the man who claimed to be the first ever world's strongest man. Well, our great squatter, Mark Philippi, managed over 1,000 kilos there, 1,108. Now, we're joining this in round number 3. Each of the guys were allowed 3 lifts, and just the top few are left in now at over 1,000 kilos. And Zavickas, no surprise there. The big power lifter and squatter. Well, what can he get? He can't quite get all 4 of them off at the same time. You can see he's adjusting himself by a centimeter here, a centimeter there. Oh, so close. The back left one not going up, though. Well, I tell you what, it's not exactly a big action one in front of the camera, but you can see the strain. You can imagine this one. It's the kind of thing you've done as a small kid, trying to lift just as many people as you can, or how many people you can hold on your back. It's a kind of thing we've all done before. 1,190 kilos then. And out with Raymond Bergmanis. What can Bergmanis do then? I think this kind of event will suit those guys who've done so many years of weightlifting. They really know how to keep stability, and he's done it. He gets the red light. The buzzer goes off above it there. Can't quite see it on the television. So it's all done electronically, not done by someone's eye. And Bergmanis, one of the few guys to have gambled and gone for 1,190, gets a good lift. This gives me a chance to mention the great Paul Anderson, who was Olympic champion in weightlifting and powerlifting back in the 50s. He supposedly did some ludicrous weight, around about 6,000 pounds, but, well, I haven't seen the apparatus he did that on. So, Hugo Girard, oh, that looked good to me. Yes, it was. Saw daylight throughout for the giant Canadian. And if you want to go right to him, he's got a guest book on his website, hugogirard.com. Jessen the Myth Paulin. Well, he's been practicing on this, having a few shots at it. That's one advantage he's got. He knows how perhaps to place his weight in the center of this platform. So, legs and arms all driving at the same time. Can he join the big boys? Can he be the next man to get a good lift? Yes, he is. And that's it. He also gets top marks. His 3 lifts are over, but he's equaled the best here today. And that's great for him in front of his home crowd. So important. So 5 guys made the top weight in the end. Vereshchuk, Bergmanis, Girard, Samuelsson and Paulin all sharing 10 points at the top. And overall, let's have a quick look. Vereshchuk in the lead ahead of Girard. Will this be the first time Girard's beaten on home soil? You'll have to join us after the break. Well, hello and welcome back to Dolbeau-Mistassini in Canada. It's event number 7. It's the Atlas Stones, the cornerstone of any strongman event. And it's our penultimate event in this competition. So, first out is Dominic Filliou, who's just about been last in most events. He's really struggled here in front of his home crowd. But look at this. Has this guy got a talent? You bet he has. Starting at 120 kilos, these stones going up to 175. That's 400 pounds in old money, or just about. Well, the first 4, look at that, going flying on. Unbelievable. Tackies himself up, gets himself ready for the last stone. Last year, the only man to do the 5th stone onto this high platform. 1.98 meters, just under 6'6". Look at the arms on him. Someone that tall with such huge arms. Now retacking. Just getting himself mentally prepared for this giant lift. You can see the circumference of the ball. That's half the problem, just wrapping your arms around it. So on to Hugo Girard, our next competitor. We're into the big guns now. And Girard, Canada's strongest man for the last 5 times, in front of his home crowd. How he'd like to win this. The World Muscle Power Championship started back in Scotland, believe it or not. 1985, the first one. So this is 20th year. Its inception in Callander and in Aberdeen. All invented by Doug Edmonds. Look at Hugo Girard. That is power. Outrageous. Do you think this crowd want him to do it? Wow, he's such a hometown hero. They really love him in Quebec. One of the most famous men in the province. The Enchanted Land, as it was first called when Quebec was founded. 30.55 seconds then. A good time, and it'll put the others under pressure. So out with the final 2 in the stones is Vasyl Vereshchuk from the Ukraine, the leader of the competition at the moment. And he needs to beat Girard. Girard, the hunting pack, and he's never been beaten on home soil in Canada. Girard, in international, national, domestic, local, you name it, Girard has always won. But this guy seems almost unstoppable this year. Such a tough character. 29 years old, from Kiev, goes up with the 4th stone. Got 1 left. Can he be the man to do it? Well, Girard did it in 30.55 seconds. The 4th stone for Vereshchuk, 37.15 seconds, so 7 seconds slower. So Girard's got daylight if Vereshchuk can't do this. I tell you what, if he doesn't do it, I think he's going to kick it in. He's going absolutely nuts here, Vereshchuk. Oh, he's so desperate to win. 37.15 seconds for the 4 stones then. And the guy they call the King of the Stones, has he got what it takes? I've never seen Magnus fail to do all 5 stones in any competition. Such long arms, 2 meters tall. I tell you what, he looks a little out of breath though. Perhaps this is the day Samuelsson doesn't do it. The giant Swede, now he's been defeated. Sadly, I think that's it. But I think he's the quickest to the 4 stones anyway. We'll have to check that. Filiu was pretty quick as well. He did 4 and 23.33. So Samuelsson, the king, has been knocked off his throne. The new king. Crown him. Dominic Filiu, 12 points in 23.33 seconds, the 4 stones. But Vereshchuk, with 1 event to go, has half a point lead on Gerard. So it's on to our final event. 165 kilos in each hand. And I tell you what, this is one of the lowest pickups I've ever seen off the ground. It's the farmer's walk. Traditional. And what a great way to finish this event. 40 meters in total, 20 meters up, and then the really nasty bit, they've got to turn around, and it's 20 meters back. So this is the battle for the bronze medal. Pudzianowski sitting in 4th at the moment. Vereshchuk sitting in 3rd, or rather Zaviskus sitting in 3rd at the moment. 57 points for Zaviskus, 53.5 for Pudzianowski. So Pudzianowski is doing the chasing. Tell you what, he's just not looking as jet-propelled as we know Marius can be. Certainly, he looks $1 million. There's no doubting that. Marius has the physique of a champion. And he's gone ahead of him, still fighting. Prize money quite different between 4th and 3rd. You want to get into the trophies. Okay, the honor of winning it has gone. But still, a podium position at stake here. Pudzianowski, 2 times world's strongest man with his shirt off, trying to go round the corner here. But you see how far he has to take it past. These are so goofy, these huge railway sleepers. He's like a drunk man staggering around there. His legs giving way, but I think he's probably done enough. The time's surely going to run out any second. Well, that's for helping his grip. The sweat's phenomenal. And Pudzianowski's done it. He's taken the 3rd place. Well, he's beaten Zaviskus in this event anyway. I'm going to have to do some mental math to figure out who's won overall. Of course, it depends on who gets between the 2 of them. If they're just 3rd and 4th in this event, then Zaviskus will hold on to the podium position. So on to Hugo Girard and to Vasyl Vereshchuk. Girard on your left, the Canadian, against Vereshchuk, the man in the picture on the right. He's never been beaten on home soil, Girard. Vereshchuk at the moment, half a point in the lead, and he's 2 meters at least. This could be the first time the Canadian has been beaten. The World Muscle Power Championships could be going back to the Ukraine. It's going to be close, that's for sure. It's neck and neck stuff around. Well, he's not as far cleverer than Pudzianowski. Look how tight he is round there. That's going to save him a lot of energy. The 3,000 fans, I think 2,999 are Hugo Girard's family. The noise is deafening in the arena here. What can Girard manage? I think Vereshchuk might have possibly nipped him into the lead. What's he doing? He's running back for chalk. He's run out. And at the moment, I think probably Girard's a foot in the lead. 10 seconds, I hear them shouting. Who's going to get it picked up? If anyone can move it a foot, they're going to win this, the #2 title in the world. You have world's strongest man, you have world champion, and you have this, the World Muscle Power Champion. Well, I thought I heard someone say 10 seconds, but the whistle's gone. And Edmonds gives the decision to Girard. Well, that is unbelievable. Girard has pulled it back in the final event after Vereshchuk flew away from the start line. And for this guy, well, you have to say he was an incredible battler, very brave. And Hugo Girard is the champion. He's taken this by rights, but boy, did he have to work the entire way to get it. The hunter. Normally, he's the hunted. So, Pudzianowski did final event. A little flourish from him at the end. That's good to see. Savickas in second in this event. And I think Savickas, yes, he does hold on to the bronze medal. Pudzianowski in fourth. Vereshchuk takes the silver, but Hugo Girard remains unbeaten on home soil. Then dropping out through to the top 12. Well, it's Bergmanis, the Latvian, Anderson, the Californian, doing very well at his first major international competition. Well, that's all from me, Colin Bryce. I hope you've enjoyed this just as much as I have. Until next time, goodbye. To Moscow for the IFSA Super Series World Champion, strong in the world, and right here in the shadow, 19 out. It's in all here. Anders Johansson of Sweden, on great Swede for third in Britain's strongest man. It's Oliver from the United States. It's Mark Philippi, powerlift, drastically 3 years ago. Odd Haugen of Norway, 54 years young. That's right, former American football player and bodybuilder. Elbrus Nigmatulin, one of a pair of both men very powerful, and Sergei Flerko just missed out on the Athens Olympics with the Russian weightlifting team. Vasil Vereshchuk, a man who's really coming to the fore in strength athletics, getting onto the podium in almost every competition. Mariusz Pudzianowski, the great Pole, world's strongest man, and of course, Super Series world champion. Magnus Samuelsson used to have the world champion title. He had that back in 2001 in the Super Series, and he'll be looking to get it back. Zydrunas Savickas, 365 pounds, 168 kilos in body weight, a giant of a man. To another giant, it's Hugo Girard, another Super Series world champion back in 2002. Raymond Bergmanis of Latvia, 3 times at the Olympic Games for weightlifting, always there or thereabouts. Sven Karlsson of Norway, yet to win the big one in the Super Series, but he's one world's strongest man. The first discipline today is maximum log lift. Now, this is a real test of upper body strength, and we've got 3 world record holders within the competitors. Now, Jamie, former world record holder yourself, is this competition going to heat up or what?
Well, like you said, the 3 record holders, Sven Karlsson, 185 kilogram. Then we had Hugo Girard, 186, and now we've got Zydrunas Savickas at 188. That's well over 400 pounds, and I'll be very surprised if that record lasts the test of time today.
Time for your comeback?
No chance, not for me.
Dr. Edmonds, this morning is the log lift, and there's so many good guys. What do you think is going to happen?
I think, looking at the log, good piece of equipment. We have a very proactive crowd, good weather. We have a bunch of guys here that are really up for it. You know, I think there's really 4 ex-world record holders here. This is the first of the Super Series, so they all want to get in on that final 6. So I think sparks will fly, and I think maybe something a bit special.
Viking, your world record has been taken once, now twice, 188 kilos. Can you take it back?
Today, I don't think so, but I will do my best. I'm a little bit too light now to do world record in log lift, but I think my friend Monsieur Girard can do it today.
Hugo, what do you reckon, 190 kilos?
You know, to be honest with you, today, I don't know exactly how I feel. So we'll see, you know, after the first lift. And
what was the warm-up like?
Well, you know, warm-up is always warm-up. It always feels heavy until they blow the whistle, and then everything feels light. So you never know. That's a good fun about this contest. You know, like strongman show. You know, sometimes good event turn out to be bad event, and sometimes it's the opposite. So you just go out there and do your best.
But I can promise you this: I think this will be the biggest battle ever in log lift, because I think it's never been gathering so many strong log lifters at one competition as here.
Well, Anders Johansson has already gone out. He didn't even make a weight. Elbrus Nigmatulin made the opening 140. Pudzianowski, well, he made 150 but couldn't manage 160. Big surprise. And the same for Samuelsson. So two of our world champions already out. The bar moved up to 160 kilos, and it was Great Britain's Oliver Thompson who was struggling to get it up in what is already a world-class weight. But look at this pressing power from the young Brit. That is outstanding in his first competition. He paid his way to get here to Moscow. Third and Britain's strongest man and rising with every competition. Well, the bar then moved up to 170 kilos, and that was the last we would see of Sven Karlsson. His 160 was what he was registered with. So on to 180 kilograms, nearly 400 pounds. And we join the action with Raimons Bergmanis of Latvia. This to equal Bergmanis's personal best. Oh, it's a magnificent lift from Bergmanis. The arms locking out overhead. Oh, does he enjoy this? And he's put the pressure on the other men. Now the world record in the log lift, 188 kilos. That was done by Zydrunas Zaviskas from Lithuania just 2 weeks ago. Done in a competition in the Ukraine. How happy is Bergmanis with that? Quite rightly so. That really is world-class lifting. So much different than the clean and jerk in Olympic weightlifting that he's used to. And in that, he's managed to get a silver medal in the European Championships. Well, this man's got a bronze medal, rather, in shot put at the European Champs indoors. Now a strongman. What can Vereshchuk do with 180 kilos? He's done it as well. Two men go clear. That's outstanding. The pressure's on the likes of Girard and Zaviskas. Zydrunas, congratulations on the world record, 188 kilos. Can you do that again today, maybe more?
Thanks. I don't know. Can I lift more or same weight? But I will try, do my best.
180 kilos then for Zydrunas Zaviskas, the new world record holder. How easy will this be? Remember, just 8 kilos off his world record. Oh, that is impressive. A little stumble forward, but a momentary pause overhead, feet in line, arms locked. It's a good lift. Well, on to the new boy, Sergei Flurko of Russia. Most impressive find to strongman. Coming from Olympic weightlifting, just missing out on that Athens Olympic weightlifting team for Russia. No problem with the clean. Can he jerk it? Oh, that's a real shame. 170 kilos, not a problem. 180, just a little too much. But he's being cheered on here by nearly 10,000 people, all in the shadow of the track and field stadium that hosted the Moscow Olympics. No, now he can't even get it to his shoulders. The energy's gone. It is a sappingly hot day in the sun here. Some 38 degrees Fahrenheit, or rather Celsius, almost 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, Philippi from Nevada, used to this kind of temperature. What can he manage? Can he join the others?
Yeah, come on, drive it up. Drive it up, Mark.
He's got to use his legs if he's going to get this up. He can't just rely on those big arms of his, no. The man from Las Vegas, former USA's strongest man. The long-haul flight over here has really taken it out of him. Of course, this is really more like 2 in the morning for him. And the same for Hugo Girard from Quebec, Montreal. Policeman by day. That's outstanding lifting. Remember, he did the world record ahead of Sven Karlsson last year in Canada in front of his home crowd. 185 kilos there. And look at this, the bar to 190 kilos. This, a weight that has never been attempted in strongman. We are into new territory, and it's Bergmanis up first. Already done a PB today. He's almost there. He's got it. Bergmanis has managed it. He's got a new world record. The pressure is on the others. What a moment in strength history. Write this day down in the annals of strength. 190 kilos. Unbelievable. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. I think it's my secret is that, guys. Yesterday I was in gym and he preparing for me sauna, special Russian sauna, and give a power.
How long do you think it'll last? Can Vasil do it?
I think it's all Gerard, Vasil, and Žydrūnas is possible lifted too.
Vasil Vereshchuk, new territory for him, but there's big rumors about his training. Vereshchuk has been there or thereabouts on many occasions. New to the strength game in the last 3 years. What can he produce here? Ukrainian and the Russian crowd really warming to these old Soviet states. Does he have the pressing power? Oh, so close. Totally different technique there, trying to bench press it up, leaning right back. That must put incredible strain on Vereshchuk's back. That's it. He takes about 180 kilos is what he's credited with. And Jamie Reeves, former world's strongest man, and of course, world record holder in the log, calls out the man who now owns that world record, Zydrunas Savickas. 180 was easy. What can he do with 190? It's going. No, it isn't. Well, that's a surprise. Oh. Well, that is a big, big surprise there. Came so easily off his chest, perhaps almost too quickly. Maybe he didn't get his breathing right. You can see him there gasping for air a little bit. The log does have a tendency to crush down on the chest and windpipe. No, that's it now. He'll be seeing stars now, and for Savickas, the world record is gone. Hey, Zydrunas, what happened there?
190 is big weight, and I'm not in best shape. Next competition will lift more.
It's great news for Raymans, though, huh?
Yeah, he surprised me. Lift very, very easy.
Hugo Girard left in the competition. Can he match Bergmanis? Can he force the weight to go higher? He had the world record at 185. 5 kilos more than he's ever managed